Evening and good afternoon. It is Shirley with Spirit of Matter here doing honoring of the sun. So, sun blessings into our lives. And I'm using the book of rulership that is free to download. You have a free PDF to download. Just Google book of rulership. And as I'm going over what the sun rules, I'm um, blessing the things that the sun rules, thereby blessing the sun and honoring the sun and its rulership and on earth. And I'll begin with breath. And actually, the sun rules that breath. So, my blessing is for people to breathe both clear air and nourish themselves both emotionally, spiritually, and physically with things that are of fresh breath, that induce fresh breath, um, that support fresh breath, and for that to be available brokerage. So that's something new to me because I know Mercury rules trade. So for brokerage, my is for us all to have financial literacy and blessings of ethically sourced wealth, ethically sourced investments, um, with respect to the cosmos, the earth, the minerals, the gold, the mountains, the agriculture, um, for knowledge to be on time and for trade to be fruitful so that we'll know when to make transactions and be with the spirit of the times. So large and showy buildings, and you've seen my picture for this episode about this mega mansion um, for for luxury to be available and attainable, for people to be able to experience luxury um, while being present and connected with the heart, and for those buildings that have large spaces to be more accessible to people. Okay, if you watched my Twitter or Facebook, I have joked about the people that were telling us to stay at during pandemic were living in mega mansions, that for them it's a problem to stay at home all that much. And that is true. So that when we have large spaces, then we can go to nature and spread less diseases and strengthen our immune system because we don't go en masse. We go to solitary walk and we have a lot of space. So for spacious structures with spacious nature. Um, burned ground, burning burns. So, um, it is interesting because one of the things that help, not directly on the skin, but to helping the skin are flowers of the sun like calendula and chamomile. Um, Another thing that help with burns is yogurt, basically, which is interesting, or aloe gel, which I think also controlled is ruled by the sun. So my blessing is in this case, first of all, that people won't have to like burn, that we will utilize fire in ways that are at the right time, at the right space, with the right things. It will burn the right things and alchemize the right things. Um, I'm thinking about pine trees because pine trees they multiply when they are burned. So blessing for the pine trees as well. And of course, people who deal with burns, for them to um, receive the cooling that they need and the support that they need, and the temperatures that they need, um, and for energy to be available, for solar energy to be available to both warm and cool spaces, not only for people who are dealing with burns, but also for the mood. Um, and for the structure, we talk about big structures. There are ecological structures that actually maneuver the winds and the shapes so that you don't need as much air condition, and that's very supportive on the energy. So I'm blessed to have more of these structures and more of these structures accessible to the common people. Cabinets, members, and officers. So my blessing in this regard is for the right people to be in the right jobs and for those cabinets to actually serve humanity and the planet, um, and make decisions that are good and also be able to communicate. For example, just to make a good decision, you can make a good decision with the bad PR. So to have both good decisions that are well communicated um, uh, to the people that they serve, and to have representation and be able to be aware of the various parameters, um, and be inclusive. So gold, the color, and gold stone. It's the first time I hear of gold being treated as a stone rather than a metal. Um, so for gold, my blessing is also like all of the blessings are also for me. Um, is that we will know um, whether we should obtain gold, replace gold for our technology, and mine gold in a way that is sustainable and like if we need to mine so that we will mine enough, not more than that, not less than that, and if we should replace gold, and that is more sustainable. So first that we will be aware of that, and that the replacements will be found so that the gold will continue to do its job here on the planet undisturbed. Government officials, representatives, and activities, and government buildings. Um, so my blessing of governments, whether new governments, like I was thinking about the Spring of Nations today, and how timely it is for our uh, era. So I'm blessing both existing governments and new governments to in I guess the cliche word is alignment, but also to both represent the people and be benefic for the people, and be inclusive, uh, both in the government, the government representation, the parliaments, um, and the chain of command. I bless them with a structure that allows for the gold to shine, allows for good energy, and for good nourishment and inspiration to be and exist both within and between nations, government buildings. So I bless government buildings to be a representation of the life of the common people, and for that to be luxurious and ethically sourced. government employees, of course. So, government service, grandeur, grants. So, grants. So, grants are also an investment. So, my blessing in this case is for grants to be allocated in a way that truly benefits the people who receive those grants, and for that to be more accessible. And again, inclusivity is a great word here. My blessing is for the people to, for the process of receiving, applying and receiving for a grant to be accessible, to be easy, to be comfortable, um, and for people who to be able to receive, to be receptive to grants for their projects, creative projects, and for those projects to bloom. Grapefruit trees and grapes. So, blessing for those citrus fruits, whether it's grapefruit, oranges, lemons, and grapes as well. They're not citrus, but they are as well apparently ruled by the sun. My blessing is for people to be able to absorb the vitamins, for these trees to bloom organically, for people to be able to have land and a couple of trees and citrus free trees to honor the sun in their own yard, um, and for that to be prevalent. Um, yeah. Um, mm, mm, mm. Grapes, pretty much the same. Greek vowel, ancient iota. Okay. Growth. What is halitosis? Okay. Growth. So for growth, I'm blessing myself and others and the land with growing the right things at the right time and the right pace and growing in a good direction. Um, I must discover what is halitosis. I don't know if I can. I would need to show. Okay, I know I've learned not to do that. Okay, so I'll just check it later. Heads of states. Let's move a little bit. Heroes, honors. So for honors, my blessing both for myself and for others is that will know to honor ourselves and each other, and um, yeah, they will know to honor ourselves and each other, basically. Treat each other with respect. Olive trees, olive oil, olives. So, blessing the olive trees, blessing the lands on which olive trees grow, um, blessing them with peaceful surroundings and for people to be able to harvest and process olives with ease, for that to be a joyful, fun experience, and um, for us to have enough olive oil for that to be for genuine good quality, luxurious quality olive oil to be accessible, and for the process of creating that to be fun, um, to have diversity in different types of olives, and to consume them in a way that is truly healthy and nourishing both for the skin and internally, and then for the on how to process and how to use them correctly, and how to store them correctly to be accessible and for people to be able to apply it easily. Orange, oxygen and oxygenation of the blood. Okay, so my blessing is, of course, to have enough oxygen, to have clear air, for the oxygen to be clear, to be clearly absorbed, and also for the residues of oxygen that we don't need to be clearly um, evacuated from the body. Okay, because oxygen both contributes to our breathing and to our aging. So, so we'll have a good amount, good balance between oxygen and antioxidant oxygens in our nutrition. So a lot of nutrition blessings. I see here Osiris, and I would need to do like a special honoring. So Osiris, Apollo. I would need to do special honoring separately. Um, parks, park keepers. So for parks, my blessing is for them to be safe at all times of the day and all days of the week and all times of the year, for them to be accessible, for people to enjoy them, for them to have both biodiversity and nice playgrounds, whether it's for pets and for people, um, and for animals, and um, for them to be big enough so there is enough place for people, enough space for people to enjoy parks, and for that to be a safe experience, and for people to care for them so that we'll know to honor the parks and to treat them well and to maintain, cleanliness. Um, and yeah, so, and for park keepers, so for them to be honorable people and diverse, and for their job to be easy. Peacocks. So, peacocks. I need to learn more about this animal. And, well, definitely the blessing is for them to be able to grow with peace in nature. Um, and get along with our, fellow mankind and womankind and whatnot. But I need to know more about where this animal grows other than the zoo. So yeah, blessings for the peacocks. Um, famous people, periods of life from 23 to 41 years old. Oh, okay. Do I have another? And or from 24 to 24 years old. So bless the solar periods in our lives, um, with the rays of the sun, with the inspiration, with the confidence to shine and be inspiring, and good absorption of minerals, nutrition, building our kingdom with joy, popularity. Okay, I got the word popularity a couple of times, and so in that case, my blessing for famous people, for popular people, and for myself, um, is to be honored and popular for who you are, so that your popular life will feel more natural, and for that to be at ease. In general, to enjoy being a human being in the world, also when you're seen and visible. So be able to be seen and enjoy popularity or appreciation, admiration, um, and stay yourself and enjoy that, for that to be joyous. Okay. And for us to honor people for who they are, and yeah, and for them to really, shine in the best possible way. Power in society. And that's pretty much the same. So the good use of power, power as inspiration, um, mm, pride. Now, I know that was not written in this context, but pride, for people to be proud in who they are, proud in whatever heritage they come from, um, proud and um, also pride in the sense of LGBTQ rights, for that to be granted, in a way, in the diverse ways that fit people. Okay, so people can shine as who they are now with the sun in Aries, just separating from the Skazimi with Jupiter. Magnificent vehicles. Wow. Walnut trees, warm. There's a lot here. But I'm going to do with this short blessing and honoring of the sun and things under its rulership, and for the sun to bless us with her rays, um, and for us to learn more. Maybe bless us with more discoveries about the nature of the sun and our connection with the sun, and my blessing also connection of the metals and the inner core of the earth and its relation to the sun, how we should honor it, how we should treat minerals and metals, metals in this case particularly, um, and how and when to harvest in a way that is sustainable and that goes with the earth and its residents, and how to enjoy the energy of the sun in a way that is really accommodating for us living species. So thank you so much for watching. This was my Sunday honoring, and I am going to do these things every once in a while. Feel free to join. Feel free to watch this whenever it's sun sign, Sunday, or Saturday evening if you want to invoke the sun for the next day, um, and thank the sun, and honor. Also, Apollo came again. I read things related to Apollo and remembered Apollo. So being creative, a glorious creativity, joie de vivre, and Osiris that I need to learn more about, which is going to be my next step. Thank you very much for watching, and feel free to come to that whenever you want to get in touch with the energies of the sun and honor the sun, and tend to those things of the sun, and keep updating me about what's happening in your life as you practice that. So, thank you very much.